Cynthia, do you want to jump in on this?
Yes, I'm the other pinch hitter here. Well, first of all, I just want to say how delighted I am to be on such an interesting panel, but also to be in such a wonderful room of very smart feminist women. This is just great. I think what strikes me just listening to everybody is that this is what feminist skills are all about, and I mean analytical skills that can be put to action, or action that produces new analyses, because I think it works both ways, doesn't it? That is, one has to be able to think analytically in order to act, right? I've hated the sort of theory-practice divide. It's stupid, because anybody who acts, especially if you try to act collectively and you try to mobilize beyond, your best friend, although your best friend may be hard to mobilize sometimes, but if you try to mobilize beyond your best friend, it means you've actually had done some causal thinking, right? And so you are an analyst. Then out of your actions come new analytical understandings, because it works, and you then think, why did it work? And then, or it doesn't work, and you go back to the drawing table and you have to reanalyze. So we're all analysts, and that means that we are all thinkers who think thinking matters, right? If thinking is only pure aesthetics, and privatized pure aesthetics, I mean, aesthetics matter too, but if they're only privatized aesthetics, well, no. But if thinking matters, then in fact it's all of us as thinkers together, and thinking is in handshake with action. So what strikes me in these wonderful thoughts that have been shared with us is that we've gone from the smallest loan combined with a strategy for making the smallest loans that can really transform relationships, very personal relationships as well as community relationships. And then we've gone with Radhika to trying to think how to reshape the understanding of the Federal Reserve, and that those two things have to be thought about at the same time. It's not, oh, you have those skills and you have those skills. It's that we all have to share both those sets of skills. Nobody should be allowed to get away with, I'm the macro person, oh, you can go and do the micro. Because if we've learned something from years of feminist thinking around the world from many, many, many different sources, is that you have to think big in order to think small. But that's mainly what the guys tell us anyway, right? But you have to think small in order to think big. It works both ways, and it's really one of the great strengths of feminist thinking for action. And that's what I think we are at a moment now where we've got a pool of skills and an understanding of what needs to be acted upon. Some people call it an agenda. What needs to be acted upon. And we are at a moment, and it's not a moment just because we have a new president of one country. It's not even a moment just because the institutions of capitalism are wobbly, but they're not as wobbly as we'd like. Let's not overestimate the wobbliness. All right, I mean, that's me on my, my most sanguine moment. Oh, they're really wobbling, and then, they start paying back the TARP money, all right? But we really are at a moment amongst all of us, and I mean all of us who aren't in the room, who are our colleagues in other countries. We are at a moment where we have the capacity to think as if it matters, and a capacity to know what needs to be acted upon. This is a very, very exciting moment, and we shouldn't let either cynicism or discouragement for a minute that moment pass. It's a very promising moment if we put all our oars in the water together. But that means to think as if it matters, and then to act as if it affects our thinking.